gearing up for our next contest here. This should be something, as the Prince of Old School has made his way into the IWE arena, a man who a lot has been centered around over the last few months here in IWE. Of course, we're speaking of Colby Corino.
We've seen a new Colby Corino the last couple months, but the hatred between these two men has been building all year, and here we go at the program.
I can wait all night. Before we start, I have a little something to say. You see, I have a problem with people with huge egos. Someone who calls themselves the Great. I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little bit like over. What kind of dream setup you got back there? When you have to call yourself great? Does this one work? It's overcompensation, as I'm saying. And I know that's a big word for y'all. That means when y'all get a big truck because you got a small, like just because I'm the best wrestler in the world, you don't see me call myself Colby, the best wrestler in the world. So why don't I show you guys tonight why Skrilla the Great is more like Skrilla the Man.
Cheap shots.
Skrilla the Mid, wow.
That is, if, and this is a big if, he has the balls to show up tonight.
And the lights go out.
Didn't even let him finish his sentence, Gerard.
I'm very intrigued how the people are going to respond here to Skrilla the Great, given some of the things he's been involved in over these last few months here at IWE.
Both these men, we've seen very transitional year for both these men. The IWE fans, they used to cheer Colby and hate on Skrilla. Now, the IWE fans almost like they don't know how to react to Skrilla.
Well, right now it looks like they're enjoying Skrilla, and Skrilla seems to be enjoying them right now. And so we remember one of the reasons for this match. It's centered around the IWE Championship. Both of these men were the first challengers for White Mike. White Mike fought Colby Corino first. Colby was unsuccessful. Then he battled Skrilla. Oh, but there we go. And one of the reasons Skrilla is so angry is because Colby cost Skrilla his opportunity at the IWE Championship.
Skrilla the Great coming in hot, not even letting Colby Corino take off his ring jacket.
And I understand, we talk about championships. Skrilla the Great is a guy who spent 420 days as the IWE Mayhem champion. He's used to having championship gold around his waist. And for someone who has carried IWE on his back, to get that opportunity at the IWE Championship and lose it because of Colby Corino is something that has really, really not felt good for Skrilla.
the hatred between these two athletes has been building all year. This is a first-time ever match, Colby Corino versus Skrilla the Great.
And it is certainly long overdue. Just when you look at what these two men have accomplished on paper, both of them have been champions in multiple places. Of course, Colby Corino has spent a lot of time in the NWA as a former NWA junior heavyweight champion.
Incredible technique there by Skrilla the Great. Colby had that headlock, and Skrilla went for almost like a hip lock just to get out of it.
And it's intriguing when you look at, again, what both of these guys have accomplished. Again, we talked about the championship ilk there of Colby Corino. 420 days as the Mayhem champion for Skrilla.
Hip toss over the top rope.
But Skrilla has also got the unique, and I do mean unique. Well, there it is. It's a tope to the outside. And it looks like Skrilla is once again embracing his relationship with the fans.
Whoa, buddy, what a dive by Skrilla the Great.
Skrilla, the current reigning Georgia Wrestling History Wrestler of the Year. I was there that night when he won the award. I presented the award to him. He was literally in tears, talked about how much work he put into this particular moment. So when you see Colby Corino take that opportunity away to be a champion, it hits real different for Skrilla.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Gerard, because that is where the jealousy started. When Skrilla the Great won that Wrestler of the Year, Colby Corino felt like he deserved that award.
Certainly, and with that, there's a lot. I'll just say this. Oh, wow, shoulder breaker, unique shoulder breaker there by Colby Corino. And Corino there with a pin. And again, we talk about the amount of time that Colby Corino has spent in this business, 15 years, and it was small things like being able to take the arm of Skrilla from under the rope for that pinfall that shows that he knows exactly what he's doing.
Colby Corino has been in this business for 15 years, but he's still young and hungry and brass, and he's still a young athlete in this business.
He rightfully so. Wrestling has been in his blood. His father, the legendary Steve Corino. And when you have that kind of legacy, do you find that there's additional pressure on someone like a second-generation star like Colby?
Oh, 100%. When Colby Corino, when he couldn't become IWE champion a few months back, he had to call his father and almost be embarrassed. Dad, I didn't win the IWE title.
And that's a problem for sure for Colby Corino. Meanwhile, let me ask you this. We talked about potential pressure for Colby Corino. Is there pressure on Skrilla the Great as a first-generation superstar to be able to get a win in this scenario over Colby Corino?
Of course there's pressure on Skrilla because Skrilla loves IWE. He wears IWE on his sleeve. And he does not like Caleb Kitchens as the owner. But he has a little dissension with Tim Blackman because he super kicked Paige Blackman. So there's all kind of chaos going on here in IWE.
A lot of chaos there for Skrilla the Great, who, I'll just say this, Skrilla lives with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, if you follow him on the socials, you know he has a lot to say, and he feels as though the world is against him. When Colby Corino cost him the championship, it just made the chip that much bigger on Skrilla.
Well, I didn't know how the fans was going to react to Skrilla, but they have embraced the greatness in Skrilla the Great.
Indeed they have. Incredible move there from Colby Corino, and I think he may have hurt his back in the process.
Looks like Colby Corino is picking each body part and really working on it just to get the huge victory here tonight at the program.
And you've got to think, as we mentioned earlier, these two men both battled for the IWE championship. Whoever wins tonight has to be considered a top contender for that title.
Oh, Colby Corino, he looks like he's going for that flip, whatever you call that, Gerard.
Yeah, that inside-out senton, count of two. And Colby Corino, resume alone, is someone who would be considered for a championship. But as we've talked about, he hasn't been the same. What else does Colby Corino need to do to get back into the championship picture?
Well, a huge victory over Skrilla the Great would definitely get him back in that title picture.
I would agree. Meanwhile, Skrilla, who I'm sure wants another championship opportunity, needs this win just as much over Colby. So this is definitely a must-win situation for both of these competitors.
Looks like Colby Corino, it's like a bullseye on that lower back of Skrilla.
And that, again, is the wisdom of Colby Corino, 15 years in the business. His father being such a skilled tactician, producer, and coach. And you've got to imagine there are all sorts of things that Colby has learned that perhaps Skrilla may never learn with someone like Steve Corino as your father.
Both these athletes are definitely in new chapters of their career right now. Decade of greatness versus 15 years of experience. Ooh, sliced bread by Skrilla the Great.
And Skrilla the Great has just been continuing to expand his territory. We talked about how Colby Corino has been in places like the NWA. Meanwhile, Skrilla the Great has started to be embraced by Booker T and Reality of Wrestling. And that's a really, really big deal for Skrilla the Great.
A lot of eyes on Skrilla the Great because of how remarkable of an athlete this man is.
And he wants to make sure that those eyes see nothing but wins. Nicely done there from Skrilla the Great, and that could be all here. 2 and whoa! Almost a 3 count there. Both of these men understand just how significant a win is. For whoever loses this match, can they possibly recover?
Well, these are two outstanding athletes. If anybody can recover, it's both these men. And Skrilla looks like he's getting the IWE fans on his side, but he needs to stay focused on Colby if he wants to win.
You know, you're talking about Skrilla, and there's a lot of cases that we could make. Skrilla never did get a rematch for the Mayhem Championship that he lost. And so perhaps that's on his radar. Almost but a knee there from Colby.
Took a lot out of Skrilla there, too.
But what a catch there from Skrilla. Catching Corino off the ropes. He got him in that TKO.
Skrilla definitely has to be one of the strongest men here in IWE.
And now he's got, whoa, I thought that was a win there for Skrilla. Late kick out there from Colby Corino.
I think Colby Corino he got that shoulder out of instinct, Gerard.
I totally agree with that. Totally instinct for Colby Corino, and you think about the places that Colby Corino has been and the things that he's accomplished. He knows how to handle the deep water. But listen to this crowd.
That is the first Skrilla chant that I've ever heard at the Legion.
It's amazing how things change, and I don't know if this is one of those cases where the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And in that case, they seem to hate Colby more than they do Skrilla, but Skrilla has embraced this.
Skrilla, he has definitely,
nice super Russian leg sweep there from the top rope. Hook of the leg. Count of 2 there for Colby Corino.
I was about to say, Skrilla the Great has embraced the fans, but he has not picked sides between Tim Blackman and Caleb Kitchens. We don't know whose side he's on.
And if you remember earlier this year, it was clear what side he was on. He was on the side of Caleb Kitchens and the hierarchy as he helped the hierarchy in that War Games match. But since then, it's unclear where he stands.
Well, he didn't like a lot of things that James Kitchens was doing around here in IWE.
And so I wonder if at some point he will be forced to make a decision, but right now his decision is that big super punch. And now looking for some energy from these fans here. Now that they've got a new relationship.
Looks like Skrilla has something definitely on his mind right now.
Indeed he does. And he's waiting. What is he waiting for? That's the question. Meanwhile, the referee's in the way. Ref moves out of the way. Super kick there to the gut. And now Springboard. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. The referee was pushed into Skrilla the Great. And now, almost an electric chair-like maneuver from Colby.
And he got all of it, Gerard.
Indeed he did. This could be all, Brian. 2 and he got him. Colby Corino.
What a huge victory is that from Colby Corino.
I don't know that I want to call that an upset, but it's a huge win, as you said. Skrilla the Great is now having to recover because I think Skrilla figured he would get a measure of revenge against Colby Corino, but Colby Corino could be proving his own point. that he's the guy to perhaps answer the call for White Mike in the IWE Championship.
That was a very athletic contest, but it was also a very emotional contest just because of the hatred involved in these two athletes.
Colby Corino getting the big win. And now what does Skrilla the Great do? Skrilla earlier this year losing the Mayhem Championship, then losing his opportunity at the IWE Championship, now losing this match to Colby Corino. What is Skrilla gonna do now?